Hello, everyone out there in YouTube land. Welcome back to Diego Knows. I, of course, am Diego, and today we are going to continue my review of Breakfast at Tiffany's. That's right, Breakfast at Tiffany's, that piece of crap fucking chick flick that you all love it so much. I don't understand it. I don't get it. I mean, it's not a completely worthless movie, but it's not good. It's not good, not by a long shot. I just finished reading the short story, and the short story is a little better. At least it's more personal. It's more intimate. I think Truman Capote had a lot more to say in the short story. And the short story he wrote, I mean, you can listen to it. It's free on YouTube. It only takes like 3 hours to listen to the whole fucking thing. But the short story that he wrote actually had, he was trying to say something, okay, about himself and about people in general and about his friend. You know, he based it on Marilyn Monroe. Okay, this movie didn't give you any of that shit. Okay, it gave you a totally different movie. The movie was completely different. Okay, it's a rom-com. Okay, whereas the short story had absolutely nothing to do with the writer and the fucking hooker, because that's what Holly Galati was, a fucking prostitute. All right, had nothing to do. Well, so was he. It had nothing to do with that, with them falling in love. No, not at all. The book was about a gay guy who befriends this girl, this fucking, let's call it what she is, a fag hag. That's what Holly Galati is. Yeah, did I offend you? Good. Straight man's point of view. That's what I give you here. All right. And yeah, it's about their friendship, okay? And it's tragic. But we'll get to that when the ending comes in this review. That's when I'll talk about the ending from the book. All right, I don't want to ruin it for you if you haven't read it yet. Okay, so I'm Diego, and what I give you is a straight man's point of view. Like I said, okay, I do not censor myself. All right, I'm going to tell you the honest God truth, what a straight man would tell you, okay, that you never heard before. Okay, and the reason you never heard it before, come on, let's face it, ladies. For you ladies out there that are watching this, come on, did you ever have a long, meaningful discussion about Breakfast at Tiffany's with your husband or with your boyfriends? Have you? No, you haven't. Okay, you know why? Because they didn't fucking give a shit about that movie. That's why. Okay, there's not many straight guys that watch that movie of their own free will, if you know what I mean. Okay, it's like, you know, it's like finding a hot girl who actually watched a game of football and knows what the fuck is going on. They don't. They'll sit through it if you're watching it with them because they know it's important to you. But would they do it on their own? Would girls have a girls' night out just to watch a fucking football game? No, they wouldn't. They wouldn't. They might watch the halftime show because that's for them. It ain't for the guys. That's for them. Okay, but they ain't gonna actually watch a football game unless some guys involved or some shit. All right, come on, let's face it. Let's be honest here. Let's fucking be honest. And the same thing with Breakfast at Tiffany's. Okay, a straight guy's not gonna go out of his way to watch it. The movie's been out since 1961, way before I was born. Okay, but I heard about this movie growing up. Okay, but I never watched it. I watched other chick flicks, but I didn't watch this one because I didn't give a shit. I didn't care. I didn't know who the fuck Truman Capote was. You know, I didn't give a shit about Audrey. I never watched anything with Audrey Hepburn in it that I give a fuck about. I never watched Roman Holiday or Sabrina. I didn't watch any of that shit. Come on, I'm a fucking guy. But I kept hearing women talk about Audrey Hepburn. Of course, you know, whenever you watch documentaries on old Hollywood, Golden Age of Hollywood and shit, her name always pops up. They always show a clip of her from something. So I knew who she was, but I always had no interest in watching her movies. I really didn't. Okay, but a lot of women in particular, older women, would talk about this movie all the fucking time, you know, and so finally, I think in my 30s, I finally said, fuck it, man. It's like you rent two, you get one free at Blockbuster or some shit. So I said, fuck it. Fine, I'll watch this fucking shit. I think it was because my friends at work, I think some of the girls that I liked a lot at work were talking about it. You know, how it's their favorite movie ever. Oh my God, Audrey Hepburn's so beautiful. She's so gorgeous. You know, that kind of bullshit. Okay, and because it was the era of Sex in the City. Yes, I've already reviewed every fucking episode of Sex in the City. It's on this channel. Every fucking episode of Sex. I know what I'm talking about. All right? Upper West Side, Jewish, rich Manhattan New Yorkers, you know, the Barbara Streisands, the Woody Allens, you know, the Mia Farrows, you know, all those fucking, those type of people that Hollywood loves to make movies about, you know, and that particular neighborhood in New York. Yes, okay, yeah, that's Sex in the City. It all takes place there. Okay, and so does this movie. It takes place in the same area, Upper West Side, rich and Jewish. Okay, so yeah, absolutely. Okay, but anyway, a lot of the girls that I knew at work, girls that I liked a lot, would talk about this movie all the time. So I said, "Fuck it, I'll watch it. Fine, I'll watch it." Okay, because I was already reviewing Sex and the City. Okay, and Sex and the City was always fucking talking about this movie in some form or fashion. Okay, let's face it, Carrie Bradshaw was inspired by fucking Holly Galati. Okay, come on. Okay, the fucking crazy ass outfits, the fucking satellite dish she wears on her fucking head. Okay, the fucking bed sheet she wears around her body and calls it a dress. the big fucking bling blings on the fucking shit she puts in her hair, the furry donuts that they put on top, all that that's Carrie Bradshaw all the fucking way. Same brownstone, same fucking neighborhood. In fact, I don't know for sure, but ladies, you might know this for sure, okay, because you all give a shit more about this than I do. But isn't Carrie Bradshaw's apartment the same one as in this movie? Isn't it? They all fucking look the same. All the brownstones look the same in that neighborhood. Is it? Let me know in the comments if you know for sure. All right, anyway, so moving right along. So yeah, so that's the culture of this movie, okay, and it inspired a lot of other shit too. Okay, there's lots of rom-coms that take place in there. Okay, I mean, fucking like even like Seinfeld's in the same fucking neighborhood. Okay, so come on, this is about as upper class Jewish New York as you can fucking get. A lot of theater people live there. Okay, a lot of actors live there. A lot of media people live there. A lot of fucking fashion industry people live there. You know, not so much the designers. They live like, you know, in the skyscraper. I'm talking about like the people that work, that actually make the clothes and that actually sew it together. They live there, you know, stuff like that. Okay, so it's very New Yorkish, very upper rich white Jewish society, New York. Okay, and that's what this movie is. Okay, it's that type of thing. Okay, like I said, the Woody Allen made like fucking 75 movies in this neighborhood. Okay, back in the 60s and 70s. Okay, so yeah, and 80s. Okay. So basically, that's what it is. All right, here. Okay. Although Woody Allen's name should be canceled in Hollywood, but it's not. He's actually praised. And if you want to know why I said that, look up Woody Allen. Look at the shit that he did. Yeah, it's not good. All right, but we're not talking about Woody Allen today. We're talking about Holly Galati from Breakfast at Tiffany's and Audrey Hepburn. Okay. So now in my review last time, where we left off, I talked about that party, that crazy fucking orgy. Okay, it wasn't an orgy. It was the closest you can get to an orgy. Okay, and then in 1961 when the Hays Code was still in effect. All right, so yeah, there was this big party at Holly's place. Even though her place is a fucking shithole, everybody showed up at this party, right? I mean, she even had her fucking agent, who she fired a long time ago. Her Hollywood agent, okay, was like the host of the party. Well, he wasn't the host. She was the host, but he was the guy that fucking answered the doors and took everyone's coats and fucking made drinks for everybody and greeted everybody. Yeah. That's the kind of a society pull that fucking Holly Galati had. All right, even fucking Mags Wildwood showed up. Okay, who's another fucking social fucking gold digging social climber / prostitute / model. Okay, who was also at the party. Basically another version of Holly Galati, only fucking drunker. And more vicious with her tongue, if you know what I mean. And they were former lovers too in the book, but they can't show that in the movie. Okay, but she's in the same racket as her, you know, trying to find a rich man to marry. Okay, and she shows up with Rusty Trawler, the 9th richest man in America that's under 50. You know, he's a Drew Carey looking motherfucker, doesn't say a goddamn fucking thing, because why should he, right? And then she also shows up with some rich, tall, dark-skinned Brazilian guy who's like, I guess he's heir, or he's next in line to be president of Brazil or some shit like that. Yeah, and he's just there to view Americans. He befriends Paul, who's the main character. Well, he's the love interest in this movie. Holly Galati, Audrey Hepburn, is the main character. Okay, but we view Holly's life through the eyes of Paul. Paul is played by George Rapard. Remember from the A-Team? Remember, yeah, Hannibal Smith. Yeah, John Hannibal Smith from the A-Team. You know, I love when the plane comes together. Yeah, that guy. He was better in that than he is in this, honestly. He can't fucking act with his shit. He acted great in fucking 18. But in this, he's just another fucking pretty boy Ken doll. He's a fucking Smith Jared who has no fucking personality, can't act with his shit. He telegraphs every fucking emotion that he has. Okay, when he's upset about something, he's like, you know, just like that. Okay, like there's no doubt in what he's feeling. Okay, there's no nuance here. There's no subtext. What you see is what you get. Okay, when he's confused, just like that. Okay, when he's frustrated, just like that. Okay, he's a fucking cartoon. Okay, he's fucking animated. It's like somebody drew him. You know. Anyway, so he's there with his perfect hair. I mean, he can have sex all night long, lie in bed, and he'll still wake up with a perfectly combed hair. Not one hair out of fucking place. Yes, that's the kind of guy he is in this movie. Anyway, so he's a love interest, okay? And like I said, in the book, there was no love interest, okay? Because it wasn't about fucking a guy who meets a girl and falls in love. It had nothing to do with that, okay? It was about a girl who's a fucking gold-digging, socialite fucking slut that did have a tragic backstory, so you understood why she made the decisions that she made in her life, and about a fucking gay guy who was trying to befriend her and trying to be her confidant. You know, trying to boost her self-esteem for his own fucking reasons, okay? That's what the book was about, all right? But not the movie. Okay, so like I said, we left off the party. So the party's over, okay? The guy, the Brazilian guy, his name is Jose, and he left. He went down the fire escape when the cops raided the party. And Paul, who lives there, he went upstairs to his apartment, okay? So they escaped to the fireplace, and that's how that scene ends. Now, the very next scene that we have here, okay, blah, blah. The very next thing we have here is Sing Sing. Now, Sing Sing, for those who don't know, is a prison in New York. Okay, I don't think it's open anymore. I think it closed down a while ago, but a lot of famous criminals went there. Okay, Sing Sing was the biggest prison, so if you were doing a long stretch in New York, got convicted in New York, you went to Sing Sing. Okay, which had a horrible reputation. Okay, it had been around since I think the 1800s. It's been around a long time. Okay, had a horrible reputation for corruption and for prisoner convict abuse and all sorts of shit like that. Okay, Sing Sing, you've heard it before in other older movies. They talk about it. Sing Sing, you're going to Sing Sing. I remember in 1941, Citizen Kane, Orson Welles' movie. In 1941, there's a scene where he was screaming at this guy, going like, "Boss John Getty." He's like, "You're going to Sing Sing, Sing Sing." You know what the fuck is Sing Sing? Well, I figured out what it was. All right, so Sing Sing, he's a prison. Okay, now Holly Galati, she doesn't have a job. She doesn't work, okay? She lives off of fucking rich men taking her out to dinners and parties, and they pay for everything, and they give her $50 every time she goes to the fucking bathroom. Okay, well, that's what she expects. Okay, and then when they're at the end of the night, when they're ready to fucking smash her, she decides whether or not she will or not. And if she decides she's not going to smash this rich old fucking guy who spent all this money on her, they get upset. And naturally so. Naturally so, but sometimes she does decide to smash them. At least in the book. In the movie, they ain't gonna do that. But in the book, yeah, absolutely, she will smash. If she likes the guy, she'll fuck him. Oh, absolutely, absolutely. Okay, but she'll still expect him to pay for everything. But at least he'll get something in return. All right. So yes. So she has no job. Okay. But what she does do one thing. Every Thursday morning, she goes to Sing Sing prison to go visit a criminal there named Salvador Tomato. Okay. He's a mob boss, a mafia mob boss. All right. He's been in prison for a few years now, and his lawyer, or we think it's his lawyer, paid her $100 a week to go and give him the weather report. Okay, go visit him in prison, give him the weather report, and get the weather report. Okay, now because Holly Galati's a socialite, fucking gold digging, fucking slutty, upscale, fucking bitch. She has no fucking idea. Yeah, she's lovable too, but she's also the other adjectives that I used. Okay, she has no idea at all, that there could be some. Ulterior purpose here by going over there. She thinks that she's just going there. She's being paid to be nice to this guy, to be his friend. And she likes him a lot. Even in the book, she respected him a lot. She liked him a lot. She didn't give a fuck that he was a criminal. Hey, everyone does bad things. You know, that was her opinion of him. You know, she never researched what he was in prison for, or what he did for a living before he went to prison. she never researched the lawyer that was paying her. Oh, he said he was a lawyer that's paying her $100 a week. She never fucking bothered to check up on that. Who is this guy? Is he really a lawyer? Does he have a law degree? Did he pass the bar? I mean, what? She never checked. She just collects the money and goes to visit this guy in prison every fucking week for $100. Okay, which was a lot of money in 1961. All right, so that's what she does. Okay, and she goes to Sing Sing, and this time she brings Paul. Now I got to raise the bullshit flag there. Okay, she brings her love interest Paul there. Okay, now Paul is basically in the friend zone. Okay, he thought that because she was flirting with him and she confided in him all this kind of shit, she even crept into his room one night after his fucking she-John left. Yeah, after his fucking trick left, she crept into his room. They had a little heart-to-heart conversation. She gave him a lot of background information, a lot of exposition as to who she is. Okay, he's obviously got the hots for her. He likes her a lot. She's closer to his age than his sugar mama is, and more attractive too. Even though I don't think she's that attractive. You know, she's got a pretty face, but she's got the body of a fucking 13-year-old boy. Sorry, she got no ass, no legs, no tits. She's really fucking skinny. I know that in real life, you know, she fucking starved during World War II when she was in the Netherlands. She was part of the Dutch resistance. I get that. And she never did get her appetite back. I know there's a good reason why she's that skinny, but she's supposed to play a fucking sexy prostitute who knows how to manipulate men, okay? And I'm sorry, you're gonna have to bring the goods if you're gonna convince me that she can get any guy that she wants, okay? She's a pretty girl. She can get laid, but to get a guy to fall in love with her, it's not gonna be so easy. Not a high-value man, and that's all she dates is high-value men, okay? That's all she dates. Okay, Paul is probably the least value man she's ever fucking dated, okay? And he's a fucking gigolo. He's good looking enough and sexually potent enough to be a fucking gigolo, okay? So which is high value for most of us, okay? But for her, that's low value, okay? Hence, he is in the friend zone, but she still flirts with him. She flirts with him because she knows that that's what she does to men. She flirts with them to get them to do what she wants. And she already tested him out, and so far, he's been fucking, she's been checking off every box as far as her manipulation and seduction of him going. She's fucking winning all the time. He'll basically do whatever she wants, okay? Because she knows that he likes her in that way. Okay, so now she can tease him and fucking, and compliment him because she knows he'll be, more and more. He'll follow her around and he'll fucking use his hands as fucking toilet paper when she takes a shit, and he will eat her own fucking shit. That's how much he's in love with her, okay? Okay, 'cause that's very realistic. Isn't it right, guys? Isn't that how we feel about every fucking girl we like? Because we only like one girl. We never like a whole bunch at the same time, right? Am I right? Exactly. See, I told you this movie's realistic. Yeah. And this is coming from an ordinary guy. This isn't some fucking John that works at the fucking grocery store, okay? This is a fucking male gigolo, okay? This is a guy who fucking pounds for money. That guy is gonna follow her around just to eat her shit. Yes, exactly. Literally, yes. Very realistic, okay? Like I said, this movie belongs on the fucking Sci-Fi Channel. It doesn't belong in fucking on fucking Oprah Winfrey Network. All right, so that's going on here. She visits here. She goes with her. He goes with her to Sing Sing, and of course Sally Tomato's there, and he has no suspicions at all who this fucking guy is. How does he know that this guy isn't some undercover cop? He doesn't know that. He doesn't know shit about this guy. Now, if I was a mob boss, I'd be like, who the fuck is this guy? Don't you ever fucking bring him back here again. Get the fuck out. That's what I would do if I was, but nah, he's just like, he's nice to Paul. He doesn't know who the fuck he is. He's nice to him. So Sally's there, okay, and Polly's there, okay. And of course she's wearing that fucking, I know it's a fucking hat, okay, but you know what it really is? It's a fucking satellite dish. Okay, she's picking up fucking Comcast right now inside the fucking prison, all right? And she's wearing it indoors. Okay, so anyway, she's sitting there with Paul, and he's got to move like 2 seats away to make room for that big fucking satellite dish she's got on her head, okay? And Sally's going over some notebook, okay? Now, the notebook is her expense account. She writes down everything that she spends, okay? Now, he already convinced her to get rid of her checking account and do everything on a cash basis only. A cash basis only, okay? Well, obviously, there's a reason why he did that, so there can be no fucking money trail, okay? That way he can pay her without there being any sort of money trail about what he's doing. He's going over her expense account. She writes down everything that she spends money on, even her cat food that she buys for the cat that she has that has no fucking name because he doesn't own it. She doesn't own it. Okay, she writes down everything she spends on. She pays cash for everything now, and Sally tells her, her friend Fred, because she's still calling the guy Paul. His real name's Paul, but she calls him Fred because that's her brother's name, because he reminds her of her brother. Yeah, how fucking sick is that? And this is supposed to be the love interest. Yeah, you remind me just like my brother. I'm actually going to call you my brother's name. What does that tell you about her and her brother? Exactly. Hey, they're from Tulip, Texas. They ain't from fucking New York. Like, that matters anyway. Okay, yeah. I told you this movie goes places, doesn't it? Yeah, okay. So anyway, which is not unheard of in the country. Anyway, so yeah. Whew. All right, so anyway, so she writes down everything like I said. She calls him Fred. So, of course, Sally calls him Fred, too, because, that's what she calls him. Okay. He tells the guy, she tells him, oh, he's a writer. Fred here is a talented writer, even though she didn't read the one fucking novel that he wrote that he gave to her. Even she didn't fucking read it, okay? Nobody bought that fucking novel. He only sold 12 copies of it, okay? They didn't like it. They said it was pretentious, because it probably was. Okay, and she didn't even read it. He gave her a free copy, and she didn't even read it. Anyway, so he tells her, he says, you can write a novel just based on this fucking expense list right here. He starts reading off some of the bullshit that's on there, okay? Her expense account, okay, and he lightly threatens Fred, Paul. He lightly threatens him. She's like, oh, I only know rats. Oh, except for Fred here. He's not a rat. Well, actually he is. He's a fucking gigolo. He's a fucking gigolo. He uses his sugar mama for fucking money, and she pays all his bills, she pays for his clothes, his lavish furniture that he has in this apartment, she pays for it. She pays for the fucking apartment, she pays for his fucking expensive wardrobe. She pays for everything. She even bought him a fucking typewriter. Because he's a writer. Yeah, he's a rat too, but of course, she knows this. She knows he's a fucking trick. He's a John. I mean, he's a fucking gigolo. She knows this. She saw the money. $300 a pound. My God. That's fucking awesome. Hey, anyway, so she knows this about him already, but she's still like, oh, I don't know any rats except for Fred here. Well, he's no more of a rat than you are. God damn. Anyway, like I said, no mobster would ever let some fucking stranger sit there with his fucking his courier, his messenger. Okay, for the weather report. That's not realistic. Okay, so she's got to leave now. She basically threatens. He threatens Paul. Sally threatens Paul. He's like, well. She's like, oh, nobody, no, I don't know any, everyone I know is rat except for Fred here. He's not a rat. And he looks at Fred and he was like, for your sake, I hope not. Just like that. Just like that, okay? Like, if you fuck with her, dude, you're not going to exist anymore. Okay, yeah, why the fuck did you come to visit a mobster in fucking prison, you dumbass? And why the fuck, who's the bigger dumbass, him for doing it? Or the mobster himself, Sally, for fucking letting it happen. Come on, we already know fucking Holly's an idiot when it comes to shit like this. Okay. Yeah, so that's what's going on. Anyway, he gives her the weather report, which is snow flurries expected this weekend in New Orleans. So that's her message. She's got to bring that back, okay, to the lawyer. Okay, yeah, snow flurries. Yeah, la coca. Now the reason he said New Orleans because Truman Capote's from New Orleans. Okay, so yeah. Okay, so Holly's too stupid to realize what that message means. Okay, now we go back. Okay, so Paul, now we're in his room, and Paul tries to write. He tries to write in his room, okay, on his typewriter, okay, and he writes a short story, okay. Well, we think it's a short story. He's calling the story "My Friend." So obviously he's not inspired by shit except for Holly. Okay, so he's going to write about Holly. Whoa, very meta here. Am I right? Yeah. I imagine Truman Capote doing the exact same fucking thing. Now, I'm going to say it right now, ladies, because I did finish reading the book. Okay, in the novel, okay, like I said, the narrator of the novel, it's in the first person. He never reveals his name. He never reveals his name in the book. Okay, but it's through his eyes, through his narration, that we find out about what the story is and what's going on. Okay, but he actually never reveals his name. In the movie, his name is Paul Varjak. Holly calls him Fred, but in the book, he has no name. Okay, although she does call him Fred because that's her brother. Okay, but in the book, the main character is a writer. He's not a gigolo. He's a writer. Okay, well, if you see Truman Capote, you can know exactly why he's not a gigolo. Okay, he's a short, little, fat guy with glasses. Okay, little short, fat, little gay guy with glasses. All right, who's a writer. And in my opinion, and I'm pretty sure I'm correct in this, the narrator of the book, Breakfast at Tiffany's, the narrator is Truman Capote. He's writing about himself. He's writing about himself, and he's writing about Marilyn Monroe, his friend. Okay, he's writing about her. He changed the names. Didn't give himself a name in the story, but he's writing about Marilyn Monroe. Okay, because there's way too many coincidences. Holly Galati's real name is Lula Mae Barnes, and she was a child bride. She got married at 13. Marilyn got married at 15. She was Norma Jean Mortison then, and then she became Norma Jean Baker. And then when her husband went off to war, she started working in the factory. She got noticed by a photographer there. She got a modeling contract. Next thing you know, she's in Slutville, LA. Fucking every casting agent, every actor, every producer, every head of the film company. She can, even Hugh Hefner and Bob Kane, the guy that created Batman. She was fucking all of them in order to make it in Hollywood and get a name for herself. Okay, so yeah, so she got on the slut train really early. Okay, just like Holly Galati. Okay, now in the book, Holly Galati's 18, and by the end of the story, she's 20 years old. Okay, but in the movie, obviously Audrey Hepburn was 31 when she filmed Breakfast at Tiffany's. So there's a lot of differences here. Okay, and let's face it, Marilyn Monroe is a lot more voluptuous than Audrey Hepburn. Okay, I'm sorry, but she is. I know you ladies love Audrey Hepburn, but Marilyn Monroe is sexier than Audrey Hepburn, at least in my opinion, and the opinion of every other fucking straight guy out there. All right, sorry, ladies. I've said this before. There's two types of women in the world: the women that you want to be like, and the women that men want to be with. And those are not exactly the same woman. Okay? They're not exactly the same woman. All right. Same thing goes for us. The guys that you're fucking... Hugh Grant, for 15 fucking years, Hugh Grant was the #1 chick flick actor in the fucking world. And yet, I don't know one straight motherfucking guy that I know that ever wanted to be Hugh Grant. No, they wanted to fuck the same women that Hugh Grant did, Elizabeth Hurley and shit, yeah. But they didn't actually want to be Hugh Grant. Okay, you see what I mean? Whereas, guys, we wanted to be, guys wanted to be, like when I was growing up, I wanted to be like Sylvester Stallone. Okay? Lots of guys wanted to be like Sylvester Stallone, but she's not exactly #1 on the chick's fucking hottest guy list. Okay, you see what I mean? That's the difference. Okay, so it works both ways. Okay, that's why we don't have fucking pictures. No teenage boy ever grew up with pictures of fucking Julia Roberts on his fucking wall. Okay, you know why? Because we don't give a shit about Julia Roberts. You ladies do. We don't. That's the fucking difference. All right, moving right along. Yeah, so Paul is there trying to write a story. My friend, I wonder who's it's about. Okay, basically, yeah, exactly. Truman Capote, he put himself in there. And the reason I say Truman Capote is the narrator in this story is because there's a scene in the book where he gives his birthday. He falls off of a horse when he's with Holly on his birthday. That's why he gives us a whole story in the book, how he fell off a horse when he was with Holly on his birthday, and he says his birthday is September 30th. Okay, and while I looked up, Truman Capote's real birthday, and guess when his birthday was? September 30th. Okay, so yes, it's him. It's him. Okay, and if you look at Truman Capote and then you look at George Papard, they look nothing alike. Nothing alike. Anyway, so that's going on here. He's trying to write his story. Okay, and he's only written two sentences so far. There was once a very lovely, very frightened girl. She lived alone except for a nameless cat. And then he stops because he hears singing coming from outside his window. So he goes out to the window and he looks down from his fire escape, and because he lives right above from Holly's apartment. And there's Holly with her bandana around her head, very Aunt Jemima looking, with a sweater on and her fucking capri pants. Yes, I'm straight and I know what they are. And she's got a guitar. Okay, and she's playing it not with a plucker. Okay, but she's playing with her fingernails, and she is singing "Moon River" by Harry Mancini. Okay, now we've already this far into the movie, we've already heard that song maybe seven times, but now we're hearing it with the words. Okay, she's singing the lyrics along with the song. Okay, it's the tune. It won an Academy Award for Best Music in 1962 Academy Awards, back when the Academy Awards meant something. Okay, you actually had to have talent to win back then. Okay, and she's singing "Moon River." And she's doing a very lovely rendition about this. Now, I pointed out this scene before in another video back when I was reviewing Sex and the City. Now, if you remember, at the end of season 4, I believe it was, of Sex and the City, that's the one where Big was moving to California. He was leaving New York. He was getting rid of his apartment. And he was moving to California. Now, Carrie and him were no longer together, but she went over there anyway. And she spent one night with him there. Okay, and he was playing this song. This Moon River, Henry Mancini's Moon River, but it wasn't the Audrey Hepburn singing. It was a different guy. And of course, Carrie made the jokes about, how old are you? He's like, this was my parents' record, not mine. Okay, so, and he goes through this big speech about how important this one note is in his song, and we hear the fucking song. Like I said, this movie inspired Sex and the City. Okay, very New York, same neighborhood, same everything. All right, a bunch of fucking sluts. Okay, so anyway, yeah. So she's singing Moon River with the guitar, okay? It was a big poignant part. So I could understand when they did that TV show, when they rebooted Sex and the City and called it And Just Like Crap, because that's what it is, And Just Like Crap. That's the real name of the show. They had his song, Hello, It's Me by Todd Rundgren. That was the song that kept playing for Big. That was the song that he was, talking about while he was playing it and singing the words, right before he fucking was murdered by Carrie. Yes, he was fucking murdered. That's what they think about straight white men on Sex and the City. He was fucking murdered by his wife, and she got away with it. Yeah, did she call an ambulance? No, she just grabbed him and basically suffocated him until fucking the heart attack he was experiencing. He was mid-heart attack at the time. Completed its course. Yes. So he was explaining this song to her in that one episode of Sex and the City, and then she murdered him later on in 2022 or 2021. Yeah. So anyway, where was I going with this? Oh, yes. So this song is already relevant to Sex and the City because it was Big's song. It's a song that his parents played for him all the time. Okay, but then they changed it and Just Like Crap to make it into Todd Rundgren's Hello, It's Me. Which is a great song too, but damn, that was never his song. Okay, this was his song. Okay, but they played the Todd Rundgren song at his funeral. Go fucking figure. Anyway, I'm not doing a Sex and the City right now. I'm just telling you that it's important. Okay, this song's important. Okay, there are connections between this and Sex and the City and a bunch of other fucking movies out there. This movie is directed by Blake Edwards, who also directed his wife, Mary Poppins herself, Julie Andrews. He directed her in Victor Victoria, another fucking. It's about a woman who fucking dresses up like a guy. Yeah. I know. I couldn't wait to see it either. Anyway, so that's going on here. Yeah, very Annie Lennox. Okay, yeah. Before it was cool. Ain't that right? Ellen Page. Yeah, I called you Ellen. What are you gonna do about it? Yeah. Anyway, so that's going on here. Okay. Yeah, so he's watching her sing Moon River. Of course, she sings the whole thing. It's a good song. It's a very good song. I'm glad they put it in there. I'm glad Henry Mancini made it. It's one of the best things in the movie. This movie only really has two things going for it. It's got Audrey Hepburn and it's got this song Moon River. Those are the two best things this movie has going for it. Those are the two things that I really liked a lot about this movie. Okay, and both of them are featured prominently in this one scene. So yes, to me, this is probably the best scene in the movie. It's a toss-up between this and the ending. I thought the ending was pretty damn good too. But that said, the rest of the scenes are pretty much bullshit. All right. The best thing in this movie is Audrey Hepburn. You cannot take your eyes off of her. Every time they have a close-up of her, they use a filter on her face to make her look prettier so you don't see the blemishes. Okay. They don't do that for Paul, but they do that for her. Oh my God, yeah. So she carries the movie. She really does. And this song is very good too. I mean, they play it fucking 15 times in the movie, but you know, it is a good song. I can't take nothing away from that. Okay, if it was a mediocre song, this movie would have driven me nuts and I wouldn't have finished it. But it's a pretty good song. And watching her sing it, it's good. It kind of paraphrases who she is. You know, she's just this lonely girl, you know. She clearly means, the song clearly means a lot to her. Okay, she just wants to be happy. She's just a girl that wants to be happy. You know, a woman that wants to be happy. Girl in the book, woman in the movie. She wants to be. She wants more. She wants a more fulfilling life than what she's got. I mean, who can blame her for that? Don't we all want that? Especially when we're young and we're not sure about the future. You know, most of us aren't born wealthy. You know, we pretty much start off poor, and then we got to earn our own wealth through time and experience and hard work. You know, well, she's there. She's there at that place where, you know, she wants more out of life than what she's got. She's looking for something. Okay, she's looking for Tiffany's. Okay, something, that place that makes her feel like Tiffany's does. You know, a more fulfilling life, and she's looking for someone who can give her that. Okay, which on the surface means a more luxurious life. You know, money, servants, you know, all sorts of power. You know, but on internally, it's something that makes her feel happy, like she belongs. In the book, her biggest fear isn't getting fat. Okay, it's not being a slut. It's none of those things. Okay, her biggest fear in the book is not belonging. You know, she feels she doesn't belong, and she doesn't realize that she did belong, but she threw all those things away. She threw those people away. She pushed them away. She didn't realize what she had until it was gone. Basically, that's the theme of the book, the short story. Not so much in this book, although it is a theme in this movie too. But it's got a completely different ending, so it doesn't matter. Okay. So, you know, she's basically saying, you know, in singing that, you know, if she can find a guy that'll rescue her, you know, Captain Save-A-Ho, that she'll go with him. Yeah, right. You'll be fucking another dude within 6 months of the marriage. Okay. You know, so I get it. It's very relatable. Okay. It draws on the insecurities a lot of women feel in life. Like, you know, am I going to find that right guy? Am I going to be happy? If I marry and get down, am I still going to be happy? You know, am I going to be unfulfilled? Is this the way I'm feeling right now? Is this the way I'm going to feel for the rest of my fucking life? You know, exactly. A lot of women deal. A lot of guys deal with that too. You know, it's a human thing. It's not a gender thing. You know, and it's very relatable. It's very relatable. You know, and also I think that she's singing on purpose. She's still manipulating Paul. She knows damn well that she starts singing out loud, he's going to come out of his. I mean, what the fuck? He ain't got a job. His only job is to fucking pound his sugar mama. So he's going to come out and look out the window and look at her singing once he hears her voice, you know? And she already knows that he likes her because he does everything she fucking says. So yeah, it's another form of her manipulating him to get him to do what she wants. She's trying to manipulate, she's trying to seduce him this way by acting all fucking, oh, please save me. My life is so bad. Only a good-looking man like you can save me from myself. You know, he's like, I'll do it. You know, that kind of bullshit, okay, that so many men fall for that. Oh my God, dude. It works. It works. Why do you think she's doing it? It fucking works. I'm sure this movie gave women ideas, although I'm pretty sure women were already doing this way before Audrey Hepburn was around. Okay, so yeah, you know, that she knows how to fucking manipulate him. She knows how to get him to do what she wants. You know, and this is just another example of that, all right? You know, a form of her manipulation, okay? It's just like that song. This song is just like, it reminds me a lot of Over the Rainbow from 1939's The Wizard of Oz. You know, when Dorothy sang Over the Rainbow, it's just a song of her wanting more out of life, you know, than what she's got. Everybody can relate to that. Everybody can relate to that. And that's basically, this is basically Audrey Hepburn's Over the Rainbow. Okay, this is the one she'll be known for. Okay, so it's very relatable. That's why it's a really good scene. Okay. And of course, she notices Paul up there looking at her, and she stops singing, and she says, how you doing? What are you doing? He's like, oh, I'm writing. Yeah, right. You were fucking jerking off to her fucking singing Moon River. And then all of a sudden, we get interrupted by his sugar mama shows up, okay? 2E. Yes, that's her real name. 2E, which is also coincidentally the name of the apartment he pays for. Yeah, ain't that great? All right. Okay, I'm going to stop my review right here, but I'll be back very shortly and I will continue my review of Breakfast at Tiffany's. I thank you for watching this long, and I'll see you soon on the next one. Bye.